We are definitely going to talk about ZBCN and where I predict that I think it's going to go, and mainly because of what's going on in the crypto market, which you guys necessarily need to understand. It's not only in the crypto market per se, it actually has to do with the entire macroeconomics of everywhere. That's what's going to be important in this video. But we're going to talk about ZBCN. We're going to get into why I think it's going to be so huge versus some of the other coins that are out there. And it has to do with what is being built by cryptocurrency. And those are going to be the key drivers of this video. So make sure you guys watch all the way through to the end. Hit that like and subscribe. Hit that bell notification. Always remember, guys, this video is for the best interest of you guys. My channel is for the best interest of you. So don't buy or sell anything that I talk about. None of this is financial advice. I'm just giving you everything that I study and I learn that's very important for you guys to move forward in crypto. So that is it. Don't buy, don't sell, don't do nothing. Just listen. So here's what you got to understand about Zebec Network. I believe that, I believe across the globe, they're waiting for Bitcoin to be able to sustain or back central banks or banks in general. I think that, 1 trillion, 2 trillion that Bitcoin has reached is not enough money to support that. I think that it has to get up to that 14 trillion, 10 to 14 trillion, which is going to take Bitcoin to a significantly high number. That's why I think it's so dire to try to dollar cost average into Bitcoin. But once Bitcoin is sustainable to back these banks and back XRP, because I believe what happens is Bitcoin needs to sustain XRP and all these other cryptocurrencies. And I've said this in my other videos that Bitcoin has to be able to sustain the globe, period. Just like gold did. Gold had to be able to support every country's currency. And what I think they want to do now is have Bitcoin be that new golden era. They want Bitcoin to be that asset that can basically hold up or support the entire system. And that's the direction I think we're going in, because we have Bitcoin treasuries being built. And with these Bitcoin treasuries being built, it becomes sustainability. I think right now what we're seeing is a lot of choppiness. I think that the world needs crisis. The world needs to say, hey, we're all in debt. We can't afford to get out. What's the solution? Print money and buy Bitcoin. That is going to be the solution, because at that point, with that money printed and you put that money into Bitcoin, now say you printed $30 trillion. You take 50% of that, you're at $15 trillion. You put it into Bitcoin, and now you have sustainability for the United States. Then what happens? Other countries are going to print money, do the same thing, and all that money is going to go directly into Bitcoin, and now you got stability. But this is where it gets wild with Zebec Network, because I know that there's a lot of different things that are tying into each other, but you have to really pay attention. You got to look at World Liberty Financial. They're creating what is called a decentralized finance institution. That's World Liberty Financial. For World Liberty Financial to work, you then have to have off-ramps and on-ramps for a decentralized finance institution to work. So you have XRP, and then you have Quant, and you have all these other financial payment rail systems in place with Bitcoin backing all of them so that there's no collapse. What I think is really brilliant about Zebec Network is it's posting as being the only on and off ramp for payroll systems. And that's important. Why? Because everybody gets paid through payroll. Now, you also have on the second page, AI coming in. And what's AI going to do? It's going to change the whole layout of the land. So with AI coming in and a lot of big companies using AI, they're going to need payment rail systems to work that are interoperable with AI taking over, being able to distribute to people their pay. And with us being in moving towards a decentralized finance era, it's important. And right now, the most important thing is seeing that Zebec Network is probably the only one that's going to be utilized to get things kicking off. So the value of Zebec Network is going to grow exponentially. So that's why accumulating the most amount of Zebec right now is the best option for you to do, alongside with investing in cryptos that are going to make a difference. So before we get into ZBCN, I really want to touch on, what I feel that's going to happen in the next maybe 3 to 6 months in crypto. And it has to do with, the whole global economic, macroeconomic crisis that I think we're heading into. Bitcoin has been since 2022 showing us, obviously there's been dramatic signs going into 2023, 2024 that the market is changing. We were expecting, I'm pretty sure, just like everybody else, for Bitcoin to go, to 250,000 or, the heights. We did reach 123,000, but we didn't see no reaction to the altcoins. And I believe this now has to really resonate with you and help you understand that right now, Bitcoin should be your target. Like, you need to figure out a way how to dollar cost average into Bitcoin. It's essential. It's essential because right now, we see in the United States, we're in a financial situation. China, Japan, everybody's in a financial situation right now, and everybody's looking for a way out. There's two things that are going to happen: is that our countries will all collapse, and that's it. They throw in the towel, and who knows what's going to happen. Or they're going to do what they normally been doing to save the heinies of all these big banks, and that's print money to justify. But I don't believe that our money is really going to go into saving banks. I think it's going to deploy into Bitcoin, and I think that's when we're going to see a lot of money start flowing into the market. I think that's where we'll see our alt season. But I really think that the altcoins are going to move differently this time around. I don't think we're going to see, Bitcoin go up and then all the altcoins. I really feel that we're going to get sporadic pumps with the cryptos. And I've seen this, and we've seen it. If you've studied back in 2023 to 2024, we got those pumps outside of what, when Bitcoin was pumping. The coins just pumped randomly. It's like they fired off all randomly. And I think that's what we're going to start seeing before we get into some stability with Bitcoin. And this is why I think it's so important for everybody to understand ZBCN as Zebec Network, because you have to be prepared for what it's going to do. And I think that a lot of people are not really focusing on what Zebec Network is capable of and how much utility is actually lying within Zebec Network. So we're going to get into talking about that utility that Zebec Network potentially has. Not even potential. I think they're set up to basically hand off, I think ADP is going to hand off into Zebec Network what ADP's been doing for the last decade. And we're going to get into that. And lastly, what I want to really get across to you is for you to understand that, there's a lot of people that are struggling to even save money at this point. But what you have to do is really buckle down and understand that A, there is a financial crisis that is on the horizon. B, you need to prepare yourself for this financial crisis that's on the horizon. The only way to battle through it is to invest or create something through investment strategies that will position yourself to grow as this wealth transfer kicks off. Even if it's a matter of putting $200 a month in Bitcoin and maybe $150 in some small caps like Zebec Network, XRP. Well, XRP is not a small cap, but it's got a small dollar valuation right now. And I believe that once these projects really kick off, when we see the change happen, the reset of the global financial system, and we see Bitcoin dominating and going to those 5 to 7x levels, we're going to see an influx of money going to those projects that the system knows that they're going to be used. Institutional investors are not going to invest in cryptocurrencies that can't be used. I don't see any money going into meme coins. I see other sectors of cryptocurrency, the niches, the what we think is important, I think those ones are going to be the last to grow. And we're going to see projects like anything that has to do with payment rails like XRP, Zebec Network, Quant, HBAR, Stellar, Bitcoin, Litecoin, BNB, Solana, Ethereum. I think we're going to see all these coins start to really, blow up. Or I don't even think that it's going to be called an alt season anymore. I think it's going to be the season of the new coins that are actually have utility. Guys, make sure you position yourself correctly. Think about you, your future, and your family when doing so. And try to do it relentlessly. Try to invest relentlessly so you can have a better life and a better future for you and your family. Take care, guys. Be blessed.